Alright guys, we are on another pond job. We're on the very first beginning stages. Gonna get a quote together for this guy. But there's a pond there in those woods. He wants to back water up into the edge of the field here. And anyway, Josh and I are going to set up. We've got our base transit set up here. We're going to go ahead and get a water level right out here in front of me is where we'll set our base for our water level. And then we'll go around shooting where water level will hit. And then we got to go in, figure how high the pond dam has to come up, figure in clearing everything out. We'll pull the dirt from the old pond to raise the dam. So we got to get a water level shot out here, a base, and then we will see how high the dam that's there needs to come up, and we can figure in what it's going to cost to do it. So I'm going to take y'all along in the beginning stages, let you guys see what we do on the front end. All right, transit base is up here on the hill. This is about where we want water to go. We got Josh painting the marker. So we're gonna say this will be our water level at this point. Guys, y'all can see these washouts through here in this pasture where he's losing his, I say pasture, this is actually his hay meadow. Where he cuts hay, and then he's got a couple hundred acres over here across the fence where he runs all his cattle. So Josh is going to walk around here and start getting some more shots on where water level's going to hit. Show y'all some more of these drains. So, you know, obviously we raise the dam and we back water up into this pasture. It will definitely help on the erosion and give him more water in this field. For right now, he's got some heifers in here, as you can see. So we're gonna get some more shots. We're going to work our way around this side, hay meadow side, and mark where water level will be. All right, move on to the next one. That clump of trees there just broke up. We'll take all that out as well. Everything in there is dead for the most part anyway. This is our last stake on this side. This is where the dam would be. We'll come up into the field. So again, that's going to be water level. Our dam will come through the woods right here. You see this drain in this pasture, actually two drains. They'll both be on the inside of the pond. So the pond will catch all the water off those two drains. Pasture's starting to wash out a little bit right here as well, but our dam will be right here where I'm walking. We'll come through these trees with it. It's a good flat point that runs out here. So we will work around the other side next. We got to move our base, move our transit stuff around. See y'all in a minute. All right, we moved around to the east side of that lot of woods. Setting the base, transit back up, get it leveled up. And ignore that stake right there. We're fixing to pull it and move it. It was a test stake, but you don't know if you can see the other stakes down through there marking water level. We'll go back down there, get a shot of elevation at that far stake, since we know that's where we want water to go to, and then we'll come around on this side of the wood lot and see where water level hits on this side. Those woods, they're just too thick. We can't get a shot through that wood lot. So that's why we gotta move our transit up here and get what we got cleared on a sight down this east side as well.
Two over here, so you can see where it's.
All right, so on our other side, with our transit being moved up here, our transit base moved up to the top of that hill, our waterline stake on that side was 12'7". So Josh is going to run up the back of this stick till he hits 12'7". And then we will locate where water level is going to be. Sounds like he's close. And that's it. That's going to be water line on this east side. So we'll now work on down toward the dam. I don't know if y'all can see the old pond in here yet, but you can see a little bit of it there. But we'll come on down this hill and we'll mark another spot. Maybe. May have to go up a hill. We're going to have to move our transit. We'll have to move it from up there down to here so that we can get our shots. And we actually, you can't tell, but there's a clear line of sight once you get out in here. So we want to get our transit out here so we got a clear sight down that dam and we can figure what our elevation is going to be to fill on that existing pond down. Take you on the root, Josh. Something solid. Only stump in this field. You found it. No?
Cow bones.
Maybe.
Straight in line, I can still get that shot. Set it right here.
All right, so our transit base was up the hill. We got elevation shots, well, not elevation shots, technically. Our water level shots right here. We got 2 more right there, and then we went inside the woods there, and in the drain, we found where it was going to hit. We got that shot as well. We got a stake in there. But we're now setting up the transit base right here. And then Josh is going to pull this elevation shot because we know this is our water level from the west side over there. We've just worked our way around. And then the pond dam is right through here. Of course, here's the old pond. But we'll go down this pond dam now and we will be able to pull elevations, and I'll write it all down in a book, and we'll know how much dirt we have to add to that pond dam to get water backed up to where we have it staked all around the west side and the east side here. You know, we know our cost on moving dirt, or per yard cost, depending on what equipment we run. And obviously we know our price per acre for clearing trees and stacking, burning, and just go from this to a finished product. So here in a minute I'll get a GPS out. We'll GPS everything. We'll know roughly what size the pond will be able to mark the new dam location. Well, that'll go on top of the existing, and then it will be new once we get on this other side. We're not going to continue following the old dam. We'll actually split off and go more kind of southwest. But we'll get all those elevations, and we'll know how much dirt we need to get it done. We'll be back. What'd you call it? 12'3"?
Yeah.
All right, there's our transit base. So Josh pulled a shot right here, and we'll go through here marking until my book, maybe get where the sun's not killing it. But my new base for my dam was 5'11", and then shot one, which is S1 here, was 12'3". So you've got a roughly 7 foot difference here. We have to add 7 foot of dirt to get up to our 5'11", sorry, mark. So we will continue going through here, taking shots, label them, and I will take the measurements, and that's how we'll figure how much dirt we got to move. All right, we got our water line marked. We know this is our water line, and it's also our base. I've got it on here at 5'11". I got all that in my notes. So when I'm using a Garmin, the 67. It is not the 67i, just the 67. But now I'll go through here and I'll mark all these points for the dam so that I can plot that out on Google Earth and get all our measurements and figure out how much clay we're going to need to lift this up. I'm going to mark my waypoints, and I'll come down here and mark the next one, because that, again, that stake right there was our water line. So that was our base. That's what we use for our base elevation. So we make notes here on the back of our stakes so we can keep up with it. But get right here, save this waypoint. We'll continue. I think we got 1, 2, 3 more. 3 more here on top of the dam. This has got a little more writing on it. I'll explain that here in a second. So what we did is, obviously, you see now that we're down here in the woods, here's our pond, existing dam. The new dam is going to come up, we already know, like 8 to 10 foot through here. So it's got to be wider. But you can't just go off the fill factor on top of the existing dam. Since this one's going to be twice as wide, you've got to fill all that dirt that falls off here in the back, in the valley. So what we did is, once we shot everything across the top of the dam, came back, called this our new base, got that elevation, and then off of this base, we went down behind the existing dam, went back here in the back, and shot those elevations. That way, using this as our base, I can figure how much fill we're going to have on the back, calculate that amount of fill, plus calculate the fill we're going to have here. So basically, I'll just calculate our fill from the bottom on the back side, how much we need to get up to at least level with the existing, and then I'll already have my existing elevations on the existing dam that match our water line out there in the field. So I know it doesn't sound that great, it's confusing, but it makes sense in my head. So I guess that's all that matters, huh? But I'll go through here. I'm going to mark everything on the existing dam first. You can see, same thing. Got my elevations on it. I don't know how deep this one is. I'm sure it's been here since the 50s. And landowners said it's been here since the 50s. But you can see it's a good drop off. It's every bit of 12 foot down this back side. But it's just pretty stagnant. Needs some work. So spillway's kind of blown out. Got beaver problems. Here's our last shot. All right. Now I've got all these marked. Obviously, the old dam continues up to the right through here. We're not going to follow it, like I told y'all earlier. We'll come through and tie into this hill right here. And then we'll run out into the field where we have it staked out there. So what we'll do is we'll probably end up moving a lot of this dirt, throwing it back, and using it for back slope, front slope. You know, we'll have to core through all this, put in a new core, lift it all up with clay, but we'll utilize this dirt and just flip it back. So maybe y'all get the gist of it, the idea, what we got going on. But it's just kind of what you have to do. You got to put boots on the ground. You got to take elevation shots. Use a little common sense. Get GPS coordinates. You know, run your calculations, and it's going to tell you how much dirt, how much clay, how much yards of clay that you're going to need at the end of the day. And there's our base that we used when we dropped off down here. So now I'm going to come down and shoot these points on GPS. You can see here I've got them labeled different. I like to give this GPS a minute, let it get dialed in as best it can before I mark it. Yeah, here's our existing dam. I'm down here in the bottom behind it. So getting these shots, I'll be able to calculate how much fill it's going to take to go from down here back up there. This little Garmin 67, it works pretty well. I'll give it credit. It does a pretty good job here in the woods. I am definitely not a smart man when it comes to all these handheld GPS units, but I do know how to work the basic functions on them. and make it do what I want it to do for my job. I'm sure there's a lot more you can do with these things, but it serves a purpose for me. This stake a little further back than what our existing dam stake was, but I wanted to have at least, I like to get 4 shots through here. The more shots you take, the more information you can gather, so that's what I like to do. But you know, we're not going to shoot these elevations through here. We know what we need. This is halfway from the field down into here. It's actually over halfway to where I'm at. From where I'm standing out to the hay meadow is less than halfway from back that direction where we just shot. I know there's a hill and it's a gradual incline going up back into that hay meadow. So this is where a little common sense. Y'all can call me wrong, y'all can say what you want. I'm no engineer, but common sense tells me I know my elevation's coming down to this existing dam. I know I've got to account for my fill on the back side here where it's real deep, because our dam, again, is going to be twice as wide as it is right now. We're level here on both sides. From this point, we've got good level ground going out to the hay meadow. There is no, I see the ditch here, but the ditch will be on the inside of the pond. On the back side, there is no steep fall off. There is no steep fill like we have over on the other side. So I'm going to estimate this fill here will make up for the difference that we're going to have on the field over there. And then this elevation is going to be close to the other one going out here. Now I will obviously mark my GPS out here so I know how far the dam actually has to go. But common sense tells me the amount of dirt we need to fill in that deep ravine and to lift this up to where it has to be is going to be really close to how much we need to fill in this low spot here and then the elevation going out to the meadow. So that's why I'm not going to shoot all those elevations. Plus it's so thick, we could do it, but man, it would be a nightmare. We'd be here for several hours trying to get all, moving the transit, get everything set up so we could shoot elevations in here. I'm not going to do that. I know how much dirt I need to do this, and I know this amount of dirt total is going to be very close to the total amount of dirt I need to do this. And that's how I'm going to go about it. That's how I'll figure the total yards I need for this project. And then I'll compute our price per yard to move the material. So that is what I will go with, and it's what I feel confident with. So we're going to go around to the other side and get some GPS shots on that other side. Alright, I'm back on the west side of the place. Here's the drain. The pond's right in here. I'm on the back side of that drain, right in this area here. And I'll take a shot so that I know where we're going to come out of the wood line into the hay meadow. And then I will walk up here. This is our water line stake on the west side. And I will mark it. That's going to give me the total length of my dam. And I'll be able to figure in how long it is. Again, elevations are going to be very similar to the other side. So I'm not worried about shooting every elevation over here. That's all my damn GPS points. Going through the woods, up here to the meadow. Now I'll go through and we'll shoot all the waterline stakes so I can compute the acreage and how many surface acres of water it'll be. Why'd you let the cows knock this one over, John? I know, they are nosy. Ain't nothing worse than a group of heifers. All right. They like to get into every little thing. All right. Oh man! They just spread chicken litter on this field yesterday. I wish I could be here and smell how good it is. I got a real good friend of mine, does a lot of work cleaning out chicken houses, and his famous saying was, "It smell like money." I don't know about that, but I guess to some people it does. Let me out right here and I'll catch you on the other side. I'm gonna walk in here. You can go around this other one. Oh, Josh, he's gonna drive around. Let me walk in here and catch this one. All right, one more. So we marked this one earlier with the dam, but I'm gonna go ahead and mark it again. All right. We're good.
Alright guys, I'm back in the office now. So I use this Garmin Basecamp. I plug up my Garmin 67 with a USB port, and I can pull up all my data, my flags, my waypoints. So what you're seeing on the screen right now are all the waypoints we marked. This would be the dam right here on the property. This is the lower side. This is the actual dam itself. And then this would be the water line that we've marked around the edges. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click all these points, and I'm going to import this into a file, move it over to a KML, I believe. drag these up into there. Create a list. You see it loads it, and so now I've got it. Click up here. Let me see here. Yeah, I need to change this right here to a KML format. That's what I did wrong. All right, I got it. Now I've exported it. Now I can swap over to Google Earth. I can import it. Get to all files. There we go. So you can see the existing pond here. This is the hay meadow all through here. Here's that area we're going to clear out. But now I can go through and basically, use my tools if I want to map out, see surface area, estimated. I can come through here and get a rough calculation, surface water. Run through here real quick and get us a rough estimate on that. So about 4 acres, you can see right there. About 4 acres is what we could expect when it's full for that size. Then if I want to come in and I need to figure up my pond length, my dam length, I know I can go through here with a path. I know we're going to turn it right here. We're going to come back out right here and come up to here. So 780 feet would be the rough distance worth of pond down. And so that's what I would use to figure all my information, my yardage, cubic yards of dirt that we're going to move, that we're going to need. Obviously, I can go in and I'll have to do all the calculations on these elevations through here, and then figure the elevations through this, the difference, get the amount of fill, come up with the cubic yards of dirt we need to do the project. Another thing I'll look at, clear that out, is I'll go back to my polygon here, and I will get a rough estimate on land that we have to clear, how many acres roughly this would be. So it's roughly 4 acres. Again, we clear, I know our price per acre. So I know 4 acres is what's going to have to be cleared in there. I'll get that price together. Then after that, figure up these elevations, and I'll go through all that, figure up how much dirt we need, how much dirt to move, a few other little odd and ends. But that's basically what we do on the very front end when we're figuring up the cost. I'll get that cost together, and then I'll go sit down with the landowner, talk to him about everything, and we'll work out a deal, hopefully get the job. So anyway, that's kind of what we do on the front end, and how we go about coming up with our numbers and how we figure up ponds, and it's worked for us. So I hope maybe this helps somebody out. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comments. And I'm not a very smart guy, but I'll do the best I can to help you out if you got any questions about it. So appreciate it, guys.